Great. And now we're going to switch topics. And I was just talking with our next speaker off to the side, and we agreed we have not heard this subject talked about yet here. I'm really pleased to introduce you to Stephanie Lum. She is the co-chair of Intersex Human Rights Australia. And intersex people born with variations in sex characteristics, risk violence, stigmatization, harmful practices because their bodies are seen as different. So please, let's warmly welcome Stephanie here to share her story with us. Stephanie.
Why are you so quiet, girl? Is it because you feel so alone, that there's no one else like you? That's what they told you, wasn't it? They told you there's hardly anyone else. You'll probably never meet anyone else, no one else like you. And don't talk about this to others, silence, not even your family, isolation, and keep it a secret, shame, because you're different, girl. They told you you have a medical condition, a disorder. Something went wrong when your body was developing. That's why you're not like the other girls. You heard some of it, but not all of it. You heard that you were wrong, came out wrong, born without a vagina, born without a uterus, white noise, wrong, 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 a disorder of sex development, but we can fix you, they said. Fix you, they said. What's wrong with me, you said. Fix you, they said. Is that why you're so quiet, girl? They told you not to speak, and you thought to yourself, even if I did, who would ever understand? They never told you that there are others. Other people born with differences in sex characteristics, variations from typically male and female bodies. They never told you that these are called intersex variations, and even though their bodies and their needs might look different to your body and your needs, you all still face so many of the same risks, assumptions, and pressures to be a certain way. Without the word, you couldn't find them. You couldn't see other people who'd made different choices and lived different lives. Did you ever feel like you had a choice, girl? When they told you that you were different, did you feel like less of a woman? And did you have any say over what happened next? And if you did it actually feel like a choice? Or was it in fact no choice at all? Because everything in your life that had led to that moment had told you there was only one way to be a woman. Hey, quiet girl, alone girl, broken, frightened, troubled girl, I heard you scream in silence when you learnt there were 5 ways to create a vagina and you had no idea which option to take. And so you picked option 1, dilation, even though you weren't really sure that you wanted to, but that you needed to, because I've heard of a woman in this world without one. And so you never considered the 6th option, do nothing. Instead, you picked up the glass tube and you pushed it between your legs and you wondered how on earth you could ever keep going when you were in so much pain. And by the end, you were never sure whether it was the physical pain or the emotional pain that hurt more. I heard you cry and cry when you got your first boyfriend, and you didn't know if he would notice when you slept with him. You didn't know if you should tell him. You didn't know if he would leave you. He didn't notice when you slept with him. But then you told him and he left anyway. You went through years of abusive relationships after that. You felt that you deserved it, that your body was nothing, that you were nothing. I heard your sister tell you she was pregnant, and I heard you tell her through the tears running down your face that you were so happy for her. And you smiled and you cried, thinking of the child that you will never carry, knowing that maybe one day you could have your own child, but it would be so hard and cost so much. I heard you sigh when you went to a new doctor and patiently explained yet again your own medical condition, even though you weren't really sure what was relevant or not, if this new thing was related or not. Is it? Does anyone know? The doctors don't know. And I heard you every time you questioned your own womanhood. Each time there was another assumption made about your body, or there was another barrier in the way to your healthcare, because it reminded you that maybe you are a bit less whole, a bit less worthy, a bit less human. But you know what, girl? No woman I've ever known was the sum of her parts, and neither are you. And you're not so quiet, are you? I heard you say to your last partner, I am worth more than that. I heard you say to your sister, I love you. I heard you say to your doctor, we need to know more. I heard you say we need to support women, all women, to be able to make their own choices over their own bodies in their own time. Hey, strong girl, fierce girl, powerful, whole, intersex girl. The world is a better place for you in it. Never stop talking. It's their turn to listen.
The world is definitely a better place with you in it.
Thank you.
And your strength and your voice, I think, is something that we are all going to remember coming from here. Thank you so much. Stephanie, what gave you the courage to step out and find your voice?
So many people don't know anything about intersex people, intersex women, and so many of us have been silenced. When you're changed or you feel like you have to change to fit in, you're not wanting to step up and speak out. And I wanted to give voice to the experiences of so many intersex people who feel like they can't speak out.
And we talked a bit before, and I want to speak up on behalf of my sister as well, who is also intersex and didn't know and didn't understand until she was ready to get married as well, and had to then be quiet and suffer in silence as well. And so I just want to thank you.
Pleasure.
On behalf of all women and girls, because we're not talking about it. We're in this conference, and you're the person who's standing here representing this issue. And I see colleagues out here who I know are going to talk about this. Colleagues from the World Health Organization, who are the biggest champions of young people and their needs, who I see right now responding. And I know that you have touched people, and I know that your being here is going to make a difference.
Thank you.
Is there something that you want us all to do as a first step?
Talk about intersex people, reach out to intersex people, be body positive, don't make people feel like they have to be a certain way.
Absolutely. We are all more than the sum of our parts. We're all just whole and beautiful, lovely people. And I know that we all thank you so much for your bravery and for bringing this issue to this conference. Thank you. Thank you.